OG is kind of what you see is what you get. Like, he's not like all that differently, one-on-one as he is. We've seen him in some of the scrums that are pretty fun and amusing, and I just felt like he was being talked about so much. Like, you got to kind of bring the subject up with him. And the problem with OG is, your questions end up probably, the ratio is about 10-1 in terms of who's doing the speaking, and he's good at that, right? Like, he just kind of you end up rambling, and his answer is usually pretty short, and he did mention something. We haven't had a chance to kind of really go over it, but I think he was, maybe he felt it was taken out of context. I mean, I quoted him directly, so I mean, I don't know what else I can do, but I just think that maybe people were reading into his comments an ambiguity about what he felt about playing here, which I don't think is the case. I mean, I think if his choice was, I think he'd play here in Toronto. I think at the same time, I don't think it's a secret that he would and probably is justified in wanting a bigger role. I mean, this was part of the preseason discussion. Nick Nurse would talk about him meeting with OG and talking about, things he could do to kind of enhance his role in the offense and et cetera. So, and all this is in the context of, I think, people got to understand in the NBA, right? Like you have only so many cracks to really nail a contract. And and the difference between being a guy who's kind of a really, really good role player and kind of on the cusp of all NBA all NBA defense discussions, which is where OG is, and being kind of a high usage scorer who also defends and is kind of borderline all-star, maybe an all-star. Like, the differences are real. We're talking 10s, 20s, 30s, $50 million. And, and I think when that is put into context a little bit, I don't think it's guys, and I'm not talking about OG in this example, or it's not like guys are stamping their feet or kind of miserable. It's where and how and what can you do to kind of maximize your opportunity while you're in the league. And, so a long way of saying, I mean, it was, OG and I are fine. And he's a really, I hope it does come across. Like, I mean, he's a really sweet, polite, nice person. He just doesn't speak in extended paragraphs.
That's fair. I would love to hear an OG podcast, actually. That's actually maybe during his career, maybe post-career, I would love an OG podcast. Yeah, I mean, in the sense of the OG thing, because obviously Shams brought it out yesterday that the Suns are, interested, and, I'm sure tons of other teams in the league are interested as well. And maybe that just coincides with the timing in terms of, obviously, Toronto was in Phoenix for these discussions. What do you make of that link, potentially, with Phoenix and OG?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to it. I think all these teams that want to win, would have to look seriously at OG, for all the reasons we know very, very well. And that's always been the thing with OG is you could do the exercise. I've kind of done it in my mind. He would start, I think, on every team in the league. Right? Like, I mean, and I'm talking like you take your top 10. I think he would start on Boston, right? I think he would start on New Orleans. I think he would start on Memphis. I think he would start on Denver, right? Like, I mean, it's, so there's your top 3 or 4 teams right there, probably. He would start on the Bucks. He would start on the Sixers, right? So there's not many players that really fall into that category. And I think that's why, if you're a team that wants to win and thinks they can win, and there's a chance you can get a player like that, you have to be very serious about it. And, I think in that sense, that's why the Raptors are in a really good position. I think, they've got an opportunity to kind of, if they want to make that decision, they should be able to help their whole program going forward. But, it's not a decision you can make lightly because, the minute you trade OG Anunoby, you're hoping to get another one. I mean, I think I can say, the fact that Precious Achiuwa has, we also saw how well he played after the All-Star break last year, but there was a little lightning in the bottle with that, with his three-point shooting and stuff. Like, it was like, this is interesting. But the way he's played the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it seems very sustainable. It looks like a different player. And I think that the fact that he's shown that there's a real platform to his game might give the Raptors a little more, I don't know, not confidence, but they might feel a little bit better that they could make a trade involving OG Anunoby and not have, a big crater in their lineup that they'd never be able to fill.